Hello and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 14th of March. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect, but please stay with me because I then will dive deep into each of the 12 zodiac signs and give you in forensic detail an idea of what to expect. Now, the sign of Pisces is very much the end of the astral journey. And next week, the Sun is going to be moving through the vernal point and we start through the spring equinox, the new astral year. So collectively, I think for a lot of us, this week particularly, is a time to really get in touch with our deeper feelings. And that could see us feeling a little bit nostalgic. We may want to withdraw a little bit and find some peace and tranquility. Any place that's near to nature or water can be particularly healing. Now, of course, Mercury moved into the sign of Pisces last week too. Technically debilitated, but brilliant if you want to write a song, share your feelings through a poem, or just think of the creative strands that help you to express the corners of your feelings, which are much less based on the practical sphere. But we do have on Friday a full moon in the practical Virgo. So that full moon asks us to balance the energy of the new moon that occurred earlier this month, which of course embraced the buoyancy of Jupiter, to find a balance between those more ethereal energies of Pisces and the more practical reality of Virgo. So if you do find yourself feeling that you want to be in a much more spiritual or healing dimension, I think your timing is impeccable this week. But the Virgo energy is saying to try and integrate it into the more physical way that you're leading your life. So if escapism really appeals to you this week, that full moon is saying important to consider issues like nutrition, exercise, life organization, and just making sure that we see tangible progress. So we can all float off a little bit with this Pisces energy, but that can make it all the more evocative. Now, on the back of that full moon, Pluto from the middle of this week is angling into the Sun, but it's in a very positive way, in a sextile. The Sun sextiling Pluto can see internal changes or physical changes in our reality. A sextile 60 degrees constructive. But also from the middle of the week, the glorious alliance between Venus and Mars, fantastic for socializing, that comes into an abrasive right angle with Uranus, the planet of truth, but also of freedom. And the freedom fighter is now in a sign, or has been for some while, that it's not so comfortable in, the sign of Uranus. Now, of course, world peace has been shattered recently. The last time Uranus was in Taurus began in 1937, I think. And of course, that followed with the Second World War. So a lot of turbulence in the world. And I think next week, after the vernal equinox, Mars does come into an exact square with Uranus, which can be testing, particularly in terms of very sudden, unexpected, and very sort of forceful events are possible. But in our own situation, the combination of Venus and Mars in Aquarius is very much about our higher values. And Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius, so there is a kind of, it's the modern ruler, so there's a kind of receptiveness. So when it comes to our financial affairs, which is the physical plane of Taurus, I think it's best not to be too idealistic. So for example, if a friend, very Aquarius, suggests getting involved in some kind of get-rich-quick scheme and you feel the impulse to join in, I'd just slow down, because Uranus squaring Venus and Mars can make us very sudden in our movements, much more impulsive. But equally, we may be drawn to someone in our group that we find very attractive, and this could happen in quite a sudden way, or we may, in a romantic relationship, want to engender greater excitement and spontaneity in it. So things have been getting a little bit too dull and predictable. A great time to try to inject a little bit of devilment into the situation by doing something together which just creates a little bit of excitement and can reignite the spark that you had when you first met. So that's the overall pattern for us all. If you are new to my channel, I would be delighted if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you'd like to get your free written daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, please see the link below. And you can get your 12-month forecast and character analysis based on your personal astrology, time, date and place of birth, and ascend above this Zodiac broadcast by seeing the link below, and get 30% off with my special offer package. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 14th of March. That gathering of energy in the sign of Pisces is very potent this week, and it's a continuum from last week, asking you to really think about all the issues that give you a sense of stability, security, where you can feel your environment works for you. You know, we can all find situations that work in a practical way, but it's how things feel, and that's really what this grouping of planetary energy is asking you to engage with. But your nature is bright, breezy, bubbly, you're a fire sign, you're mutable, so you move quickly around situations. So this could be asking you to pause a little bit in a way and just give yourself time to reflect. But there is still the combination of Venus and Mars in your third house, which is very bubbly and it's very charismatic. And if you do need to discuss something with people, then that gives you an asset. But they do come into conflict with Uranus in the second half of this week. And if there is somebody around you that cramps your style, doesn't enable you to speak your truth, or isn't very receptive to how you feel, the more sensitive strands of your nature, that can add a bit of tension and stress to the latter part of this week. But of course the full moon is going to see your emotions, I believe, being quite hard to disguise. So even if you're someone who's quite private, you know, you might have some Scorpio planets in your chart, your natal chart. You may even have quite a bit of Capricornian energy. But if you're someone who does like to keep your cards closer to your chest, that is going to be harder to do on the back of this particular full moon. But it's in the sign of Virgo, which we know is about discrimination and precision. But for you, the 10th house is how you interact with the world at large. So even more than ever before, I feel it's such a gathering of energy in Pisces. Things need to feel comfortable for you. So where you work, how you travel, the space you have, always important to Sagittarius people, in your home environment. But because Pluto's in the mix, in your sector of core values or money, it may be that money is informing some of your decisions around your home and family life, or the need to be more mindful of how you can change your outer world in a way which does feel right for you. So you're really being asked to just be at ease with that more emotional dimension, and not feel that this is something for other people, because you are so dynamic, you can be so charismatic, you like excitement, you like to be adventurous, but really the action this week is making sure that the core foundation of your world all just feels right.